Mr. Hahn coming at you again. We're going to talk a little bit more about fractions, kind of continuing on where we did yesterday. So if you would grab either a new piece of note paper or the same old one that you had, there's just gonna be a couple different things, a couple new things that the book throws at you. It's not going to be terribly difficult there. Let's start by actually writing. So again, it's fractions. We don't get to write with black a whole lot, so let's do fractions. And under fractions, this is more about adding and subtracting them, mostly, and dividing, I guess. You can see this says, it just says more arithmetic, which means we could do anything with fractions, I guess. Arithmetic, gotta like that. I'm going to give you a problem here. This one comes out of the book, so we need to write this one down because this can be kind of complicated. Here's an example problem that I want to go through with you. A whole circle is 100%. If you have a whole of anything, that is 100%. If you divide the circle into thirds, if you divide the circle into thirds, comma, what percent is a third of the whole circle? What percent is a third of the circle? Let's just shoot this down at you here. So let's look at a little visual here. So here is my circle. My circle is 100%. I am taking my circle and I am cutting it into thirds. It's not a very good third there. Maybe can I do better than that? I don't know. We'll try. Maybe a little bit better. I'm dividing my circle into third, and I want to know what percent one of those thirds is. Really what I'm doing is I am taking 100% and I am dividing it into 3 equal pieces. So you can probably do that division there. 3 doesn't go into 1, but it does go into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract, bring down. 3 goes into 10 3 times again. I get 9. Now I have nothing left to bring down, so I have this remainder of 1. But there's no such thing, just like we talked about it before, there's no such thing as a remainder 1 of a percent. So we need to, as we talked about before, we need to make a fraction out of this remainder. And if you remember what we talked about, we take our remainder, put it on the top of the fraction, and we take our divisor and put it on the bottom of the fraction. So that's the fraction we get. So the answer to our problem is if you take 100%, cut it into 3 equal parts, you end up with 33 1/3%. 33 1/3%. So I think you're probably capable of doing that. The other thing they go over is just kind of some simple addition and subtraction with mixed numbers. We did a little bit of that before. Just again, know that when you do something like, they give us the problem 6 2/3, and you are subtracting 3 from it. Okay. You can do this. Make sure you put the whole numbers over the whole numbers. The 3 doesn't go underneath the fraction because that's a fraction. Okay, and this is a little bit like having no thirds. And you can do that. If you take no thirds away from 2/3, you're still left with 2/3. And if you take 3 away from 6, you're left with 3. So your answer is 3 2/3. The same thing is true if you do this. What is 3/4 plus 2? If you get 3/4 plus 2, it just looks like this. Here's your fraction, 3/4. You can put the plus 2 here. You can think about this as being 0 3/4, and maybe this as being 0/4. So you have all your fractions, all your whole numbers there. 3/4 plus no fourths is still 3/4. And 2 plus 0 is 2. So you end up with 2 and 3/4. Most of the other stuff we kind of already did, so I don't think you'll have too much trouble with that. Just wanted to give you a little heads up on some of that stuff there. So that should get you through to where you need to go. Thank you, 5th grade.